Do you want to know how to generate 10x the revenue from each customer without increasing your prices, upselling, or using any sleazy sales tactics? If that's you, then this video is for you. My name's Edelberg here, and for those that don't know who I am, I'm on a mission to help plumbing business owners get off the tools by building their online presence and securing a continuous, reliable stream of new customers. Plumbing, heating, and air conditioning businesses are losing hundreds and thousands in revenue every year because they don't grasp this one concept, and that is lifetime value. Throughout this video, we're going to touch on what is lifetime value, why you should care about lifetime value, and what the average lifetime value is for a plumbing, heating, or air conditioning business, how to calculate your business's lifetime value, and we're going to take you through a real world worked example of two businesses, one that actually cares and respects lifetime value and the other one that just completely ignores it. So stick around for the whole video because we're going to be dropping some absolute bangers through here. It's just going to be packed with value and you're definitely going to get a lot out of this one. So what is lifetime value? So simply put, lifetime value is the amount of revenue that a customer is going to be bringing into your business over the lifetime of them using your services. Now, we know from our research that the average revenue that one customer should bring into a plumbing, heating, or air conditioning business, if they're doing their marketing correctly, is around $7,000. And the average amount of time that they'll use your services is around 10 years. So the lifetime value that we aim to get for each customer is around $7,000. Now, what does the lifetime value include? This can include anything from basic repairs, servicing, all the way through to the big installs. So literally every single thing that someone uses you for, whether that's plumbing, heating, or air conditioning, they get around you, they get you to come out, you help them out, you charge them. That contributes to that individual's lifetime value. So just by literally acknowledging lifetime value and flicking that little switch in your head and saying, all right, this lifetime value thing, that's actually a thing, you're automatically going to be thinking, how can I keep my customers for longer and get them to come back? And that's exactly what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get you to acknowledge that there are things that you can do to increase your business's lifetime value. So I mentioned this earlier. The lifetime value that we've found for a plumbing, heating, or electrical business is around $7,000. It also is mentioned in a few books that we've read. I think there's one behind me, HVAC Spells Wealth, amazing book if anyone wants to get around that one. And I think Ron, he says that in the US it's around 7 to 10,000. We've also found that in the UK and Australia it's around 7 to 10,000 per customer over a 10-year period they're going to spend with your business. So now you know that if you play your cards right, it's not just going to be that one-off show up, it's not just going to be that one-off service, it's not just going to be that one-off installation. If you play your cards right, there's a lot of money to be made with each customer. So in my profession, I actually get to speak with thousands of plumbing, heating, and air conditioning businesses on the weekly, and what I've come to notice is a large number of them either don't understand lifetime value or they will not admit that lifetime value is even a thing. So I speak to them and I say, oh, what's the lifetime value of your customers? And they go, what's that? And I say, well, how much can you expect to earn after the customers come to your business and you've served them once? They go, well, that's it, that's the end. Oh, you might get a service here and there. And I say, okay, do you get the service here and there after you've done an install job? Maybe. Do you do anything to get the service? No, they'll just call me if they need me. By not understanding lifetime value, this is the exact approach that 90% of businesses are rolling with, and they're just leaving all of this money on the table for their competitors to swoop in and take up the remainder of the work after they've served the customers once or twice. That's why we're here to bring it to light, hopefully educate everyone on lifetime value and get some business owners thinking about lifetime value and how you can start increasing it for your business. So I'm going to discuss a little story here, and it was one of our clients that we're currently still working with, and he'd been in the industry for a while. He was a plumber, got a database of I think 2,500, and when we first signed him, he was sort of like, oh yeah, well, I've got this big database of 2,500 existing clients. We were like, great, that's amazing. You know, we've got a big list to speak to and start marketing to. And he said, oh no, I don't want any marketing going out to my existing clients. I don't want you to contact them. We said, all right, so out of your existing clients, how many have you actually been to their house in the past, year or two? He said, oh, about 250. And I said, only 250 out of the 2,500. He said, yeah. Why? I said, do you think it's a little bit odd that you've got a list of 2,500 and you've only been to 250 of them in the past year? That's about 10%. And he said, no, they'll just call me when they need me. And I said, okay. Well, do you do anything to, remind them that you're still alive and you're still running your business? And he said, No, why would I do that? And I said, look, let's just go and run an experiment here and see how many of them are still out there, see how many of them are still in your area. People move, and we'll run this campaign and see what responses we get. And after a bit of convincing, we got him to eventually say yes to running the campaign to the customers that he hadn't been in contact with or he hadn't used his services for the past 2 years. And the results were actually crazy. So first of all, we generated a lot of money from that campaign because a lot of these customers had issues they'd been waiting to resolve and they didn't know who to contact. But the next reason was, we got around 50 responses with people apologizing to him. And that's the reason that they were apologizing is because they didn't know that it was a marketing campaign. And that's the little secret of marketing. If you market so that no one knows that it's marketing, that's when you're really doing some good marketing. But essentially, we had these people responding to the campaign, apologizing and saying, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were still in business. I'd lost your number. I've got a new phone. I couldn't remember the name of your company and I've gone to someone else. This is, 50 jobs that he's lost just because he hasn't reached out to his client base and he's forgotten about lifetime value and how he can work to improve it. So yeah, it's a little bit of an interesting story and definitely one that I love to highlight with our customers as we're bringing them on board and they tell me about their huge databases that they haven't been in contact with for 5 or 10 years. And I say, usually once in this industry with plumbing, heating or air conditioning, if you've got a customer and they haven't been in contact with you for 2+ years, they're most likely not your customer anymore. Hate to break it to you, but they've gone somewhere else for whatever reason. And what we're going to try and do is prevent that. So we're going to stop that from happening. And that's why we're going to be focusing on lifetime value. Great. So now we're going to go through a worked example where we're going to go through 2 businesses. One's going to be focusing on lifetime value and trying to improve it, and the other one's not. We're going to look at the results and where they end up at the end of the day. So I'm going to jump into a Miro board here and we're going to jump onto the computer and walk through it. All right, guys. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go through a worked example with 2 businesses. One's got to focus on lifetime value and the other one doesn't. I'm just going to put that out here. So business 1, no focus on lifetime value. Let's just say to get one customer, they're spending around $100 or £100, whatever you're using, right? And then that one customer is going to bring in 500 in revenue. Right, so we've got no focus on lifetime value. This business 1, their marketing for one customer is $100 or £100, and that one customer brings in 500 in revenue. Now let's look at what that looks like in the business's lifetime. Just going to get rid of that one. And let's draw out a time graph. So we got a timeline here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, bit iffy. 1, 2. These are going to be the years. And perfect. Big gap between 5 and 6, but oh well. Yeah. And then how much revenue this customer is going to be bringing into the business. So we've got the 500 down here. And then the business doesn't care about lifetime value. So they're not going to really go out and re-engage with this customer. They're just going to go and do the job. They might do a good job, they might do a bad job. In this instance, they just do an average job and they don't contact them again. So in year 2, they're going to be getting 0, and then it's going to be like that all the way around. So they've got nothing. That's literally 500 from the job. You've got a 5x return on your marketing, but then you've got to pay for all of your expenses out of that, so you're not really making any money. Now let's take a bit of a different look at it, and let's say that in year 1, I will stick with the black pen for now. Year 1, there are some dodgy years, and year 3. So let's just look at this in year 1, year 2, year 3, what this means for the business. So let's just say this business is spending, $30K each year for marketing. And the marketing company is going to be taking $15K, and then $15K is going to be going to advertising. So that means that each year, that $30K is going to be bringing in around 150 new customers. Right, so that's how many total customers they've got. And that red line is going to say marketing. Marketing, because it's in red, because no one likes doing marketing. All right, so year 1, they've got 150 new customers. Year 2, they've also got 150 new customers. And year 3, they're getting another 150 new customers. Now, because they don't really care about lifetime value and they're not really doing anything, this is also going to be their total. So total equals 150 customers. Let's just say that the only way that this business is getting customers in is through this one marketing campaign. Now, God forbid, we don't want to be doing that. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket. But just for the sake of this example, they're doing one marketing campaign, they're bringing in 150 new customers per year, and they don't care about lifetime value. So year one, they've got 150. Year two, they've got 150. And year three, they've still just got 150 because none of the customers are coming back because they don't have a focus on trying to improve their lifetime value. They're doing average work. And that's it. So it's a very simple example. And the revenue that they're actually generating from this marketing spend equals, right? So for each customer, one customer, they're getting 500 in revenue. And for the whole marketing spend each year, they're getting 150 customers. And that's not rolling over because they don't care about them and they think that they're just going to call them when they need them. Right, so that's business one. Now let's go check out business two. So for business two, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab all of this and copy my dodgy work over here. And we're going to go in for example number two. And this is going to be business number two. And they're going to have a focus on lifetime value. Now that's the only thing that's going to change, right? They're just going to be focusing on their lifetime value. They're still marketing for one customer. It's going to cost them £100 or $100 to get one customer. And one customer is going to bring in 500 in revenue. Now, what's going to change in this top bit is the business is now going to be going back to this customer and asking them, did they do a good job? Going to be communicating with them on the holidays. Going to be potentially looking to get them in a membership program. And the next year, after they do whatever they did for 500, they might go back and service it. So we'll put 100 in there. Then they might go and service it the next year. So we'll put another 100 in there. And then the fourth year, they might actually need something else done. So we might have another. Maybe it's a bigger job, we'll put 1,000 in there. Then they'll go and service that. They'll get 100 in there. Then maybe there's another job and it's another 500. And then maybe another job, 100 in there. Each year they're getting the minimum, which is the service. And then, if everyone who owns a house and runs a plumbing, heating and air conditioning business, that it doesn't matter how good your job is, there's going to be something else that they're going to call you back for. If you're doing plumbing, it might be a new heater, it might be some central heating in the house. If it might be, do a new bathroom. These numbers are very conservative when you actually think about it. Even though I'm putting 1,000 there, it's very well this could be $4,000. So I'll put another 500 here, 100 here, and then 1,000 here. And then all of a sudden, this revenue that you've got has gone from, we're going to do some quick math here, see how good we are. We got 1,000, 2,000, add those two fives up, that's 3,500, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 4,000. So we've got 500, we've got two 1,000, so that's 2,000. We've got three 500, so that's 3,500. And we've got three 500. So now that revenue has gone up from, what do we have over here? 500 to 4,000. Now we know from the customers that we've worked with that this is very conservative and this is actually more likely going to be around 7 to 10,000 when done right. And as I mentioned, we've got lots of 500s and thousands. This could easily be 4,000. But anyways, for the sake of this, we're just going to talk about, let's just say that it's 4,000. You've just times this by, times by 8, right? Just by doing some having a business, having a focus on lifetime value, doing some communications with your customers, whatever else you need to do to improve your business's lifetime value, which we're going to get to shortly. Now let's talk about how this actually works in terms of marketing and your compounding effect. This is probably the most important part. You are generating 8x the revenue, but what about the customers that you're getting? So in this original scenario, you've still got the 30K per year marketing spend. Right, we've still got 30K per year marketing spend. Nothing's changing here. You still got your 1, 2, 3. This is all going on marketing. And you've got 150 coming in the first year. Nothing's changed. But the second year, you've now kept your 150 customers, 150. And this here is now gone. And this here is now gone. And what we've got here is this is now 300. And this is now plus 300. And now it's 450. And this is really makes a difference between your top performing businesses in the industry and the ones that are just constantly pouring lots and lots of money into marketing. It's because the ones that are the top performing businesses, they've got their strategies in place to increase their lifetime value, that you can go into their books and ask them and you say, what's your lifetime value for your customer? And they go, well, 6,000. So they're willing to spend the money on marketing because they know once they get that customer, they know what they're worth. They don't look at it. Business one looks at it and goes, oh, I'm not going to spend 100 on marketing when I'm only going to get 500 in return. Whereas business two goes, I'm going to spend 100 on marketing if I know that I'm going to get $4,000 in return from this customer. And it's very easy to calculate. So essentially, if you want to understand what your lifetime value is for your customers, if you've been running a business for 5 to 10 years, all you got to do is go into your books and pick out your customer, pick out the name, look at their address, if you're depending on your CRM software or your invoicing software, or go to your accountant and just say, pick a customer that you know that you've been serving for the full lifetime of your business and say, how much money is this person? How much have we invoiced them? And then get 10, get 100, get 1,000 and average that down. And once you've got that, you've got, just to put it out here, customer 1, 500, customer 2 equals 5,000, and then average, obviously use more than 1 and 2. The average is going to be what is it, 5,500, 2,750, and you know that your average customer is worth 2,750, and then when you go back to your marketing, it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to go and spend money on marketing, because you know exactly how much your customers are worth, rather than being business one here, where you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that because my marketing is going to be all of my profit. But if you're in the business for the long term, then it doesn't matter, because you know that you've got to focus on your lifetime value, and you know you're going to get that money back if you play your cards right. So hopefully this has made it a little bit clearer for you, and you now understand lifetime value. Keep on watching, and we're going to go through how you can actually increase your lifetime value for your business. Great, so now we've been through that worked example, and we know how important lifetime value is. Now the question beckons, how do you improve your lifetime value? So the simplest one, and this is where so many businesses miss the mark, is provide a 5-star service. And I know a lot of you are going to be sitting there thinking, I already do this, but do you really? So one way that you can do this is essentially by doing everything right. So rocking up on time, call your customers before you get to the house, let them know that you're coming, be clean, have a wrapped van, portray the image of being a 5-star business. But one that a lot of businesses miss out on is actually asking your customer after you've finished the service, are they happy with it? Getting them over to your work, you've just done an install, you've just done a repair, and say, are you happy with everything that we've done today? Is there anything that we can do to do a better job? Rather than just invoice paid out the door, make sure that they're happy. If you get any glimmer that they go, yeah, it's pretty good, that's not good enough. You ask them, what else can I do? What can I do to make this better? Try and do a genuine 5-star service. The second method is where we come in, and this is marketing without actually marketing. So this is setting up email, SMS campaigns that go out to your customer base on a regular basis. Holidays, happy Easter, happy Christmas. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just marketing without marketing. If you're having a quiet time, let's just say John's the customer. Hey John, just letting you know, Michael here. We're running a special. If you don't want to hear from me again, we're fine with that. Just thought I'd let you know we're doing this service for this much. That's it. It's just a simple text message, simple email. Looks like it's exactly from you, and you're marketing them without marketing. You're keeping your business front and center, so that when something does pop up, when they're at the family barbecue and someone goes, oh, I need a plumber, or I need a air conditioner installation, or I need someone to change my heater, John then goes, oh, actually, shit, I just got a message from this plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company. Yeah, how about you give them a call? Boom, referral. Marketing without marketing, just generally letting them know that you're there, you're still around, you're not trying to get them to buy anything, you're not trying to do a hard sell, you're just literally communicating and keeping your business front and center. So I'm assuming you've already got your social media pumping, you're already running some ads, your website's on point, they're seeing your van driving around the local neighborhood, your business is front and center. Why not contact them if you've already done work for them? Not in an annoying way, just every now and then, and you'll be shocked at how much revenue you can generate. Now the third method of increasing your lifetime value is one of my favorites, and I think every single plumbing, heating, air conditioning business should be running with this: memberships. Now they take a little bit more effort to get off the ground, and yes, you do need to sell them, but once you have a membership program that works for your business, and you get people signing up, you're never going to lose them, because they've got your membership. They're going to be calling you out. You can offer things like free call outs, discount services, priority scheduling, all those types of things that make people want to be a part of your business, so that if they have an issue, they just call you up and you're there. Simple as that. Great, so now everyone watching this video should have a clear understanding of lifetime value, why it's critical for every plumbing, heating, and air conditioning business, And while the good old, oh, they'll call me when they need me is so old fashioned, and it needs to be revised in 2024. And it's really all about breaking that belief that people don't want to be contacted, and you're going to be found annoying if you reach out to your existing customer base. If you do it the right way, I guarantee you, well, what we've found, we've run all of these marketing campaigns, and what we found is that we get an overwhelming number of people saying, thank you, I'd completely forgotten about your business. I'm so glad you reached out. My daughter's actually looking for this. It just seems like all of the business owners that we speak to at the start, they're thinking, no, I don't want to be a pest. I don't want to be bothering people. I don't want to be sending them marketing messages. It's going to look bad on my business. But what we've found and the results that we've received is, yes, you get the 1% that say, please don't contact me anymore, whatever, they don't want to be contacted. But we have an overwhelming number of positive responses from people saying, thank you for reaching out, really appreciate it. I was actually thinking about getting this done, and it just generates a lot of revenue. So that's it for this video. If this video helped you out in any way, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and continue receiving more valuable content. Have an amazing day or night, and I really appreciate you watching this until the end. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.